So a little bit of a different view where you really can appreciate the rounding on the roof. This is showing some of the roof detailing. The brow is thickened up, so there's a 3/8 basic roof panel here, and then there's a cap that goes along here. And the object of this, there is a tapered cap that goes on top on the edge that thickens the edge to 3/4. But for now, everything's just dry fitted. There is a piece of trim you can see tucked into the corner. It can just be a square piece of wood tacked into the corner here, but I happen to have this cute little molding. I think adds a little interest, and it tapers to a trough in the far corner so that ideally the rain will shed off the corners and you can collect it. But I actually like the whole bumping up and thickening up of the brow. I think that looks great. The door worked out perfect. Fits underneath here beautifully. I chuckled to myself because I'm impressed how well that worked out. Obviously, the edges have to be well sealed with epoxy in an ideal world. So I ended up getting some really nice quality stuff, barely a void or a missing knot. So it's really good quality and nice and solid. So in the inside, it turned out awesome because I wanted the character to match the floor. I've mentioned this before. And so the roof will be just left natural. Okay, here gives you the detail of how the trough turned out. But yeah, so the idea is it directs the water, runs here, runs along here, and drips off the corner and overboard. So it's not filling up your cockpit, but be nothing to hang, set up a jug over here to catch that water. And once I know how the water runs, I'll put some hook under here maybe, or something to collect it in a pail. It will end up all faired, filled, and looking good and become waterproof. Pretty cool, huh? Exciting stuff. I have one hatch roughed together here. Ooh, looky there. And the idea is I'll put a little stop or something so that it can be supported level. And then when you're inside, you could actually put dishes and so forth up on top of this. I knew it would fit. Oh, fits really nice. So I guess a handle or something here so that you can lift it, or dead center maybe, because obviously once you get it past a certain stage, it will want to fall, right? So your handle has to be strong enough to get up there. But not bad, not bad. It's actually sitting really well. So the shape turned out quite good. Huh, I'm not unhappy. That worked out quite decent. And there you go. So you can picture it toggled down. So the idea too is I'd like it that I can prop it up just partially open. Here's what I've just put in briefly. I'm liking the concept. Something like what you see here. So a hatch like this, and if, like I say, if a piece of Lexan fitted in there, decent headroom. That's all you need. Plenty to walk in here comfortably. I'm liking. So once you're camped, it wouldn't take you long to do a setup like that. Oh, and that, that's even fairly streamlined, that if it was set up while you're on the go, you could leave that up. I got the other hatch on. This has turned out well, I think. Now you can see that this will be very good to set items on, but again, it needs underneath just a little support bar. I may even make all these parts out of Lexan. If moving on the water, it will be fine. That would be enough to hold it in place. Once you're actually camped, it really is strong wind. That would hold it in a strong wind, I'm sure. And if it really got blustery, you'd be down in your bunks, relaxing, and just what do they call that? Batten down the hatches, right? So your hatches would be battened down and you'd just be listening to the rain on the roof. This roof is a little more complicated than Ardienne's Rose, but that said, it's still is still fairly basic. It's really just 3 pieces of ply, 1 length, 2 lengths above me, and then a center section, and the hatches. Oh, the door closes really good. It is a snug fit. Let's see. I have yet to pull down on that, but you can hear it just skim along there. Some weather stripping on that. So head height. So I can stand fully upright. There's over 6 feet. If you need more, obviously you want to make that panel bigger, so you go up higher. The charm of this boat is keeping it to the minimum. There is, I think, an art in doing minimum, finding that minimum that is exactly right. This to me is exactly right. I'm standing very comfortable, in this spot, so you can cook and do what you need to do and not be bothered. In the washroom, that's where it needs the extra height too, but I've used this washroom with the roof on it. The composting toilet has been in use, so I've been experimenting with an ash sawdust mix. So ideally the ash is not hot. That would be bad. Now there are 2 skylights I'm gonna fall. I'm balancing here on the back rail. I don't know that I'll have the kitchen one opening. On the bathroom, I definitely will have it open so that you can stand full height with your head in there. So just to give you an idea what it looks like inside, this will open, shaky hand again, and rest down on that rail and become level. I kept it low profile. Oh, you'll see what I mean when I put a level across here. It doesn't add any height or any overall height to the structure of the boat. So you see there is some room under there. That way it still ideally fits into a garage. So just to give you an idea how it brightens up the inside, you already see there's a little more light in the kitchen, and definitely lots more light in the head, which was quite dark. And I can get my head in there when you're standing up after having used the porta potty. So I'll stick my head up. You can see it. So you can see sitting down. Pretty cool, huh? I should have the selfie stick. That would be interesting. So this will be adhesive down. Epoxy is always the go-to, but there's nothing wrong with expanding glue. And then the fiberglass and a fillet will go up against that when I do the roof, and that will hold it in place very nicely as well. So yeah. So this is the underside. All I'm doing is I watered down, just to give this a bit of color. I'm going to glue this down by myself. And I had it all screwed originally during the dry fit. And now I'm using the hinges from the hatch with shallow screws. Now I can hinge this whole thing up and out of the way and lay down glue on the framework so that I am not going to be trying to slide this up here by myself, get glue all over the place. I can lay this out of the way. Now I can run a bead of adhesive all on the upper frames here and just hinge it right back and screw it down. Today I got the thickening, the added strips on, and the little bit of trim here and there, and so basically let's call them caps. To reinforce and make the edges 3/4 of an inch thick. I did use a fair bit of clamps. Now remember, I did show in an earlier video, I have a bucket of homemade clamps. So if you don't have enough, make your own. Actually, I can see a spot where I could use one of those. But I used PL Premium to glue this down, and I used an old ice scraper, handheld ice scraper, to because it's corrugated, to spread the PL so that it was completely covering the pieces when I glued them down. I added some screws where needed as well. PL squeezes out quite a bit. I was cleaning it up as I was going and putting it on a flat board, and then letting it tack up oh so slightly, and then I'm using it to fill the screw holes. Yeah, I rounded the edges, both on the inside and the outside. So here, I actually ended up using drywall screws to really draw it down. I will remove those and go through, and I have some slot brass screws which we'll replace. Look at the roof. I think it looks pretty hot. Here we go. I'm taking pictures. That's why you hear me chit-chatting to myself, which I do all the time. Really, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to me talking to you. And this is exterior. I did not use marine grade ply. This is exterior spruce ply. Somewhere it says exterior. Exterior, and I've done boil tests. I had a garbage box made of this stuff that lasted like 25 years or exposed to all weather, winter, summer, everything. I know this stuff will last. This is basically $30 a sheet versus $150, $200 for marine ply. So I get to sit and relax. But what I wanted too is not showing and some character in the wood. And for me, I like that. It has several coats of varnish on it. So it's, and it was stained to give it a little bit of, tone it down a bit from being bright raw wood. Yeah, so the roof very soon will be waterproof. That'll be the next job, is giving it a good solid sand, and then epoxy sealing and filleting around the hatches. And I'm excited. Oh, and I get to trim this and put in sinks. What else have I got to do? I got some upholstery to do. I have some rope steering to work out. I'll have to add some bracing to put pulleys on the corners there. Okay, I'm done for today. As I say, I'm a bit on the sore side, so we're gonna take it easy, take a break. Oh, I have a video up, and that's the last video I did. So yeah. All right, guys, take care. Things are coming. This is a huge step. Basically, the roof just now needs finishing, and I'll end up with a boat that it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm still the jobs that I still have to do pop to mind: windows, opening windows, drop hatch. What else? The upholstery I mentioned. Finishing up the cabinet. Putting some electrical in here. Very basic system is the plan. So yeah, that will work fine. And working that out. And then I have rub rails to do, and the back seating, because I plan to have like a helm seat here that overhangs. And a friend gave me an old barbecue, and I'm thinking, oh, well, the old barbecue sitting off that side would be kind of cool. But we will see. So yeah, all the rub rails, it's quite intricate. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm quite pleased. Quite pleased. It's looking good. What else can I say about it? Yeah, the roof has an interesting line, and I saw a color scheme. I'll leave it as a surprise unless I already said it. I don't remember saying it, but anyway, the color scheme I think will really pop. You shall see. I think it'll really pop. So, and the idea is, yes, I'm a bit of a show off in the sense that I need my boats to get a little bit of attention. Otherwise, what's the point of designing a boat and making something unique if nobody's going to notice it? I think it stands out on its own merit, but nothing wrong with a little bit of flash in a paint job to get it to really stand out for people. Oh, I like. Anyway, yeah, enough chatter.